Listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you
listen, man, you gotta do something, man. Last time I was at a church, man, daggone pastor told me he got swallowed up.
I got an idea. We're gonna join the ISUPK. We go in there, we do our 90 days. We come in there to go to class, we're all black. After 90 days, we get our Hebrew name. Before you know it, we officers or captains or something. Got 4 or 5 wives. It's gonna be dope.
Nigga, you bugging. I ain't trying to go out in the corners, huh?
See? You already talking like an Israelite.
Nah, bro, I ain't with that shit, man. I vote no 3 times. No, no, no.
You only get one vote. I vote yes. Let's ask Otis.
Otis, cousin. You know this is crazy, man. These dudes be dressing like superheroes on the corner. You trying to do that?
Come on, Otis. I know you love the women. You can have 3 or 4 wives in there.
I vote yes. Man, this is crazy, man. This is some crazy shit. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Excuse me, brother. What's up? Don't I know you from somewhere?
Nah, man. Nah, you don't know me.
You ain't never did radio before or nothing like that?
Nah.
You go to church? Matter of fact, did you do a testimony at the church?
Man, tell him I eat your big ass biscuit.
Nah, no disrespect, brother. You just got a real familiar voice. That's all I'm saying. Familiar.
Listen, man. Whatever y'all talking about, I'm in. We need to go ahead and do that shit now.
Then it's on then.
All right, man. Well, let's get it then.
Wanna look like, wanna act like, wanna look like, wanna dress like, wanna act like, wanna look like, wanna dress.
Okay, brothers, I love the image. Let me ask you fellas one thing. Are you sure you want to join the ISUPK? I mean, there's other groups you can join like IUIC. I mean, purple is really in style this year.
Purple these nuts. We ISUPK. Take it or leave it.
All right, brothers, let's get started. So, I want you to join us, and you want to join us. And we want you to want to join with us. Let me ask you guys a couple of questions. Can you speak loud at camp if you don't have a microphone?
Yeah.
Do you make sisters mad when you go into the women's scriptures?
Yeah.
Do you believe in having more than one wife?
Yeah.
And do you believe in going to the club and being around beautiful women?
Whenever possible.
Do you advocate the use of guns or weapons to defend yourself or settle civil disputes? Okay. Last question. Do you guys respect anything at all?
Not a goddamn thing.
You got a deal. Welcome to the family. Whatever. ISUPK. If you can't trust me, you can't trust us. I love it.
Shalom, brethren. Most High in Christ bless. Hey, fringes don't belong on a t-shirt, Doc. What? Jealous much?
Them Twitter fingers, nigga. Boss that nigga, man. Get your shit together, man. I'm over it. So over it. Over it. So over it, nigga. Coming on this bitch real fresh, bulletproof, high shoot, bitch, you better wear your vest. She try to get something off her chest, but the drip on her head made a mess. I'm a real piece of profit on this one, but nighttime sheet, I'm a beast. I'm like, here, eat it up, baby.
The Lord's 56th annual Passover under Commander Junior Hunter. Make sure y'all be there, man. This is the only Passover ordained by the Lord. Shalom.
Tonight it's a ride, I got a show, live show, and a nigga still indie. Hey, UPK niggas winning. UPK right back at you again. Officer Shapat Dayakin. Dropping something heavy for these cowards out here. Yeah. Coming straight from 125th, 1 West, Harlem, New York. Home of the truth, nigga. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Hoom Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hoom Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Hoom Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hoom Yasha. All day as we discuss how they don't like us. Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us, watch where you stepping. Cause a scene, you gon' see how brotherhood is a weapon. Tough skin protect our wrists, teach girls and kids devoutness. Call a prophetess, a priest damn near nothing without it. More than rubies, cute and understanding when describing. Virtue, loving, no lip from the daughters of Zion. Gold teeth, earrings, chains, and the rings. Precious metals, fabrics, emphatic stones, and everything. Trying to catch the slang, rewind what we rapping slang. Lost in parables, your scripture breakdowns terrible. Yasha Allah, Prince of the power, we are the Jews. God on earth, you can see it by watching all our moves. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Hoom Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hoom Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Hoom Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hoom Yasha. Man of war with hair wool, no idols, loving judgments. God of the Bible, the men above me shout, Hoom Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hoom Yasha. Kingdom's ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one, it was written. The men above me shout, Hoom Yasha, and all the warriors be like, Hoom Yasha.
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Gonna get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that bitch, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this low, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore.
Like snort. Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We was slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, this the feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this is an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Like, he got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's...
Hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham, Yahweh Shema Thumb by Shem Yahushua. Preaching officer on Mwagaba, Tuesday night Brotherhood class, African, Kentucky, under Commander Johanna, you feel me, since 1969, teaching the truth to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the chosen people of God and our oppressor, the devil the Bible speaks of. And tonight's class, what we're going to talk about is who is the real illegal immigrant, because Trump has been upping the ante, you feel me, on what he said he was going to do as far as deporting our Hispanic brothers. You got the ICE agents outside the schools, outside the jobs, looking for our brothers and sisters to try to deport them up out of here. And now having a birth certificate does not mean nothing, because they saying if your parents is illegal, then you illegal. And I want to clap it up for the trooper in here with me. Salakia. Clap it up for the trooper. While your mouth in here. From all the way from Lexington, Kentucky, you feel me? Real talk. So the thing about it is that the thing that's heavy with people to understand about that birth certificate. You feel me? That when you think of Trump saying, like, even if your parents are illegal, that you gotta go. People is, because people are naturally like sympathetic towards children, that's all you thinking about is the little kids in elementary school and stuff like that. But what you gotta understand, a lot of Hispanic brothers and sisters is here. They've been here for a while. You feel me? But their grandmama or their mother is an illegal immigrant. So he's talking about throwing grown men and women. You feel me? Grown men and women away. That's what Trump is talking about. It's not just so much as the little kids. You feel me? It's not so much as just the little kids, in the daycares and stuff like that. It's grown-ups that's been living here for 30 years. They 30 in their 30s and 40s, but their mother and father is an illegal immigrant. You feel me? And they possibly can get thrown out the country. That's no different than a black man, his Native Indian or whatever, right now saying we got to go back to Africa. You feel me? Or telling the Native Indians they can't leave off the reservations for no reason, not for nothing. You feel me? That's what's going on. You feel me? He's trying to throw grown men and women back to Mexico who's never lived there, to Puerto Rico and Colombia who's never lived there. They've been living here since they was a baby, and they got citizenship. Like real talk. But if I could, you go ahead to that first article, the one about the Chinese. What drove last year's surge in the migrants at the border? Yeah, you can go ahead whenever you got it.
I'm sorry, Miss Lucky. I was on mute, man. The whole time. Last year, a record number of Chinese immigrants crossed the U.S. southern border without authorization.
Right. So they say a record number, which means this ain't nothing. You feel me? This ain't nothing new. A record number of unauthorized Chinese migrants, you feel me, cross the border. And then a lot of times, because of Chinatown, with all these different Chinatowns and these Chinese neighborhoods, they be hiding in the basement. Like real talk, they be living in a basement, 10 people to a house. You feel me? Stuff like that. And then they kids, of course, they come over here and they legal citizens because they was born here. And now they grow up and become doctors and lawyers off Chinese rights. Like real talk.
In search of jobs and freedom from Chinese heavy-handed pandemic response.
Right. So and that's what the upcharge was. They saying and Chinese migrants is because of the heavy-handed pandemic response. You feel me? So they trying to all of the sanctions and stuff that's going on over there, they trying to get away from that. That's why it was a up in a record number in Chinese migrants. Not saying it is not no Chinese migrants or this is when it first happened. They just saying it's more Chinese immigrants coming than it usually do, which means they cool with Chinese immigrants. They cool with it.
They follow past long walk back immigrants from other countries. But here in the U.S., they have come under a different kind of scrutiny because they hail from America's biggest geopolitical rival.
Right. China. Right. China is America's biggest geopolitical rival. You feel me? China is America's biggest rival, but you got an up and record number in Chinese immigrants. But Mexico is an ally to America. But they send ICE agents to all the Mexican neighborhoods. That don't even make sense. The only thing that makes sense about that is that the Chinese people is not the children of God. You feel me? The Chinese people is not God's chosen people, so they're welcome. God's chosen people have never been welcome. You feel me? Because everybody been jealous that we was chosen and they wasn't. It's that simple. You feel me? Just like the bully in the neighborhood. The bully in the neighborhood most of the time pick on the cat that got more than he got. The bully is usually like come from a broken home, and then it's another cat that come from a decent home and he getting bullied on. Like real talk. Like we had a father and they didn't. So we never been welcome. In a country we built, we still not welcome here, but America's biggest geopolitical rival, they welcome. They so welcome, they just say, man, it's a record number of migrants. Like they've been counting this. They've been counting the migrants coming in from this Chinese, and they cool with it.
Politicians on the right, led by former President Donald Trump, basically claim Chinese immigrants are spies or drug smugglers.
Right. And that's what Trump said. He said they spies. Trump is not the smartest president that America have seen. Trump is an idiot. Trump, he think the Chinese migrants is ninjas. It's a lie. he think that the Chinese immigrants is ninjas. He talking about they spies. All right, well, that's cool. It's a record number of them spies here and drug smugglers. They here. It's a record number of them here. Like real talk.
Sent by Beijing to harm Americans.
Right. Sent by China. That's their capital city to harm America. That's what Trump's saying that. And of course, he's saying that to get everybody on his side because Trump won the election because of racism. You feel me? Racism, always, you're going to win with racism. In the end, you're going to win with racism. While everybody telling you that you wrong for being prejudiced and stuff like that, you always end up winning with being prejudiced. With loving your people first, you always end up winning.
Trump suggested a rally in May that military-age men are building a little army in our country.
Right. So the Chinese is building a little army in America to overthrow the American government. He watched too many movies. He probably shouldn't watch too many movies.
At the Republican National Convention in July, former Trump White House advisor Peter Navarro described immigrants crossing the border as murderers, rapists, human traffickers, terrorists, Chinese spies.
And you know what's funny? What they said about these Chinese people, they right. They're not lying. They're not lying. They're not lying about the Chinese being murderers. It's Chinese gangs. It's one gang in Cali called the Asian Boys where they kill niggas. And it's niggas in their gang that help them Chinese people kill niggas. So he's not lying. Rapists. They are rapists. The Chinese people, they are rapists. They do human traffic. That's how they get all these. That's why they got all these massage parlors where ain't nobody doing no massaging. They got all these Chinese massage parlors. When you go in there and tell them you need your back rub, they gonna tell you, nigga, no. They're gonna tell you no because that's not what they doing in the massage. They ain't rubbing backs. They rubbing something, but they ain't rubbing backs.
Like yourself, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that? What's that? Love me long time? Is that what they doing in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. that's a code word. It's like it. That's a code word. That's what they doing. You going there talking about a massage? They thinking you the feds. Like real talk. Come in. They thinking you ICE. Old time you trying to get the back massage, but real talk. They not lying about these Chinese people that's coming over here. But the thing is, they not sending ICE to Chinatown. You feel me? They not sending ICE to Chinatown because they hold a type of financial power in America. You feel me? These Chinese people, they hold a financial power that America don't want to let go. Like real talk.
None of those claims stand up to scrutiny.
Right.
Research
But for some reason, you got the FBI, you got the DEA, you got every alphabet in the book, you hear me, type of police force, but they say ain't none of that stuff really legit. Somehow they letting all that stuff slide, basically what they saying.
Research based on years of federal and local government data shows that unauthorized immigrants from China or elsewhere do not threaten national security or commit crimes more
Now,
than
wait. They say from China or elsewhere. Now, I didn't make this up. This is what America is saying. America is saying, due to our studies and research, immigrants from China and other places, they don't really threaten the national security. It's not true. It's not even really happening. For them to send all them ICE agents to these daycares and all that, people just the devil the Bible speaks of, man. These people, these are a race of evil people, man. Because America is saying that no immigrants is really even a threat to national security. That's how locked down and tight America really got it. They said they're not really a threat. Go ahead.
or commit crimes more than other immigrants or people born in the U.S.
Right. Or commit crimes more than any people born in the U.S. So what they're saying is people born in the U.S. commit more crimes than the immigrants do. Them the people going to jail. The most people going to jail is not immigrants. I mean, the prisons is filled up. The prisons is filled up with niggas and white people and Arabs and whatever else you could think of that got American citizenship. They don't fill prisons up with people that don't have American citizenship. I don't know if people know it or not. They just gonna send you back to your country. You're gonna get deported. You know, they try to do that to 21 Savage. They try to deport him back to Britain or somewhere he from, where he was born at. Like real time. That's what they're gonna do to you. You're not going to prison. You're not going down to the county jail and getting processed and handed over to the state jail or the feds. Man, look, if you ain't got no birth certificate and you committing crimes, you getting deported. Like real talk. And they say that the people born in America commit more crimes and is a bigger threat to national security, which is true. Who ran into the White House? January 6th. He just let them free. Donald Trump just let all the people free who is a threat to national security. And guess what? They all have birth certificates. They all have birthrights to America. And he not kicking them out the country, though. They get to stay. They good to go.
This June, unauthorized crossings hit the lowest level since 2021, following President Biden's executive action restricting asylum claims and stepped up enforcement in Mexico.
Right, you keep going.
We sent a ton of money and created a lot of fear, but we don't have any good, credible evidence that we could be afraid.
Right. So they say they spent a ton of money. They spent a ton of money and created a lot of fear. That's what they did. That's what they did. That's all they did. All the stuff Trump saying, Biden saying, all the stuff they saying is not true. You feel me? All the stuff they saying about the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Colombians, it's not true. It's not true. They spending this money to create fear. That's what they doing. They trying to create fear.
Said Rebecca Hastings, an associate professor at Virginia Tech who studies migration. It's good politics. It's good political theater to say, what if, and to look like you're hard on crime and hard on immigration, but it's not really helping.
Right. So that it's good for politics. You know what I mean? It's good for politics. You saying what if? What if the Mexicans doing this? What if the Mexicans do that? When the whole time the white people doing all of the above. The Chinese is doing all of the above. The Africans is doing all of the above. The Arabs is doing all of the above, but they keep talking about the Mexicans. They keep talking about the Hispanics because them brothers and sisters is the chosen people of God. It's just that simple. They're the chosen people of God. Real talk. All right, so yeah, you could drop that and go to that. Go to the next article. What is it? Unexpected
Africans.
Yep, the African. Yep.
Pull it up.
And I know for people wondering, black people, you're not African. You've never been African. You never will be African. It's over 3,000 different ethnic groups, and they speak over 2,000 different languages in Africa. You can't tell me which one you is because you're not African. You feel me? Real talk.
Unexpected visitors. Africans crossing the southern U.S. border as illegal immigrants.
And and then everybody coming through the southern border. They coming through Mexico. It just said the Chinese coming through the southern border. Now the Africans coming through the southern border. Everybody coming. Everybody can get in, but the Mexicans? How can everybody get in the country but the Mexicans? Like real talk, the Chinese people, you see them coming through Mexico. You like, man, now you know damn well you ain't supposed to be here. You see an African coming through Mexico, you like, man, what are you not supposed to be here, man. I know you is illegal. But you see a Mexican coming through Mexico, you stop him right away. When it's a lot of Mexicans that got dual citizenship, but you're gonna stop him. But the African, he good to go. The Africans and the Chinese, you ain't questioning that at all.
It wasn't that long ago when most of the Africans who were in the United States illegally were visa overstays.
Right. Yeah, and that's how a lot of Africans do. A lot of them Africans are the scammers too.
Oh man,
a lot of that come from Africa. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That is, people who had entered the country legally for tourism, business, or education, and then stayed on past their expiry of their visas.
Right, that's one of them scams they do. You hear me? They come over here like they visiting and just never go back, and they good to go. They here. They opening up stores in your neighborhood. You feel me? Real talk.
In the last few years, however, a new class of legal African migrants in the U.S. have emerged. Those who, together with millions of others from South America and the rest of the world, have crossed into the country through its southern border.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Everybody get to come through the southern border, but the Hispanics though. You feel me? Real talk. Everybody is coming through the southern border, but the Hispanics can't get in. You hear me? The Hispanics, they can't get in, they can't stay, but the Africans can, and the Chinese can. Like real talk, this is insane.
In 2022, according to the U.S. government data, as reported by the New York Times, 13,406 migrants from Africa were apprehended at the border. Go ahead.
No, I'm just reacting to the number. That's a lot. 13,000. Where they even coming from? Like they from Africa, but how is they getting to Mexico? Like real talk.
Last year, their numbers jumped to 58,462.
Right. That's insane right there. It's some cities ain't got that many people in it.
Right.
This the big man. Look, this the richest country on the damn earth, and it's some cities in America that ain't got 58,000 people, and it's 58,000 Africans at the border trying to get in. Like real talk. That's why I say we don't belong. We shouldn't be accepted though. You feel me? All this stuff is biblical prophecy. This is really how it's supposed to be. You feel me? Because that's the only way we'll ever come together. Once we get separated by their hatred, now we know that we belong together. You feel me? We know that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we belong together because they keep doing this to us. Everybody else get a pass. You feel me? Every race get a pass. You got all the Europeans over here illegally too. They ain't talking about all them Russians and them damn Ukrainians that's over here illegal. Why they ain't talking about none of them? You feel me? All of them get a pass. But you know who don't get a pass? Is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And the Africans even get a pass for people that say you African. Where the hell is Umar Johnson at? Salakia. Where is the great grandson of Frederick Douglass at? Where the hell this nigga at? Because you got some explaining to do. You hear me? You want to be a spokesman for our people? You're gonna have to answer for stuff like this, man. People gonna want to know this type of stuff. Why is everybody else accepted but us? And the answer is in the Bible. It's been there the whole time. Real talk.
There's no reason to believe that these statistics represent the full picture, nor that they will abate in the future, in the near future. For content, Africans who have crossed into America through the border now likely outnumber their visa overstayed counterparts. As of 2019, Nigerians overstayed by the most numerous of any African nationality.
Now you kidding me now? Did it really say that the Nigerians is the big they is the biggest immigrant group from Africa here? Basically, that's what it's saying. Now I thought they was offering black people citizenship in Nigeria. I thought they was telling us to come home. Remember they was making all the videos talking about come home, we miss you. So, man, black people was gonna go over there and end up in a bowl of soup. You go over there messing around with them Africans, man. They live a whole different type of life than we live, man. They culture, they eat people. They Hannibals. Ain't that what it's called when you eat people? Hannibal.
Yeah, Hannibal. Yeah.
Man, they eat people, man. You better look up how they was eating them albinos. You hear me? Thinking they was gonna give them magical powers, and I'm not lying. Like real talk. But what this article is saying that Nigerians is by far the most numerous of any African nationality in America. Next time they tell you to go to Nigeria or Nigeria is better, nigga, you better stop listening to these people and these pictures. Don't go Google pictures of Nigeria and they look like Puerto Rico. And when you get over there, you like, where that's at? Where them pictures at? They, you know, they be posting pictures in Africa like it looked like Puerto Rico and you know, in South America. I'm like, I'm not too sure about that. And I'm not the one to try to find out. So like, I ain't gonna be the one to go over there and try to see if the motherland look like Puerto Rico for real. Nah, I don't know. Not what this article say. This article say the Nigerians is by far the most numerous African nationality that's here illegally. Real talk.
Number 30,000. No other African nationality top. Salaki.
No. Go ahead, Salaki. I was just ad-libbing.
No other African nationality top 3,000. Most were in the tens of hundreds or hundreds.
Right. God damn. So they saying all other Africans. See, that's what I'm saying. But they telling you to go. They telling you to go back to Ghana, like the brothers say. They tell you to go back to Ghana. You go to Ghana. Why would I go to Ghana when, man, look, all right, it's 30,000 Nigerians here. It's 30,000 Nigerians, and they say no other African nationality even top 3,000. And then they telling you to go to Nigeria, man. All right, sound like another African scam to me. You feel me? What's that scam they was doing for the longest? $1 a day. Send $1 to the African. They hungry and this and that. Like, damn, how they gonna get the money? ain't got no food. What they got a cash up? Like, I don't know. It is what it is, man. I just know I'm not getting scammed. I've been around too long to get scammed by anybody. I'm just giving it real. I can smell a scam when I see it. Almost how fast you could smell an African. You feel me? Real talk. But that's a whole nother topic.
It's like y'all just living what the brother just said.
Yeah. Hell nah. That's stupid as hell. Yeah. Well, yeah, you go ahead. You probably about to finish this one. Matter of fact, you could drop this one. That's basically it on that. Just talking about how them Africans, they illegal immigrants too. You send that thing in Africa, they over here, you seen them walk past thinking they good to go. Man, they illegal as hell too. Like everybody is over here illegally. The only people that's not over here illegally is the Native Indians and the Mexicans. That's it. Everybody else here is illegal. If you're not a Mexican or born Native American Indian, you here illegally. You do not belong here. Like real talk. So you can go to that next one, but I want you to I want you to drop down to what do we say? Why do you think so few people know about the first part of the Pilgrims? It should be like the second paragraph, I think.
Second paragraph?
Second or third. But it give you the title though. It say, why do you think so few people know about the first part of the journey?
Okay. Why do you think so few people know about the first part of the Pilgrims? Journey through the Netherlands. It seems an important part of the story that isn't often told.
Right, and that's one thing I noticed about our oppressors. There's always some of the parts of the story that ain't told. I mean, we just read a few just earlier, but that's one thing I noticed about the oppressors. They always leaving stuff out. You know, I wonder how they able to do this. Maybe because they write in the history books that's in your kids' class. You feel me? Maybe they writing all the laws. They down in Washington, D.C. lobbying for this law to be passed and Congress to pass this bill. You feel me? And in the midst, they leaving a lot of stuff out. Real talk.
Yes, the Pilgrims was exiled from England, but by the way of Dutch Republic.
Right. So this one, okay, the Pilgrims, you know the story about the Pilgrims and Indians? They came over here, they had Thanksgiving dinner, they all sat down and ate. And now they celebrate Thanksgiving every November. Well, it say the Pilgrims was exiled from England. You know what that mean? I mean, they was kicked out.
Oh.
They was kicked out of England. Like real talk. It was kicked out. The Pilgrim was kicked out.
The majority of Mayflower passengers were separatist men.
They were who?
Separatist men.
They were separatists. You know what that mean? That mean they was you know what they would be classified if the Pilgrims was around today. The Southern Poverty Law Center will label them as a hate group. The Pilgrims that started the 13 colonies came over here. Everybody like look at them like the Amish people. You know, you look at the Amish people like, oh, they so innocent. They don't drive. They don't use Wi-Fi. They don't have electronics. And the devil the Bible speaks of. And they criminals. Real talk.
Separatist men and women who had entirely rejected the Church of England and had formed their own churches.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If the Pilgrims was around today, they would be labeled as a hate group. They would be on the Southern Poverty Law Center's registry as a hate group. Real talk.
That was illegal according to English law.
Right, it was illegal. They broke the law. You feel me? Them being separatists, they were criminals according to the English law. Real talk. And they was exiled from England. While a lot of people looking at it like, oh yeah, they came over here to start a colony and build crops. The Pilgrims were illegal immigrants. Real talk. Everybody over here is illegal. Black people over here illegal too because we were stolen. You hear me? Black people were stolen. Real talk, from Africa. The Native Indians were stolen from the Americas and took back to England. We all stolen. Living on stolen property. Like real talk.
In 1607 to 1608, there was a new wave of persecution against separatists. Therefore, many of them fled to Dutch Republic, long as refugees for English religion descendants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you keep going.
From Amsterdam, many followed separatist Pastor John Robinson to the city of Lisbon. In Lisbon, the English separatists had a large measure of religious liberties.
Right, which is freedom, and that's what that was the point. They was trying to get religious freedom. You feel me? These pilgrims that came over here started the 13 colonies, which we know at what? Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all that stuff. You feel me? They came over here and they was criminals. You feel me? They was criminals and they wanted religious freedom. They was basically kicked out of England. You feel me? That's why I say this is their culture. You feel me? They was basically kicked out of England and then they came over here and started the 13 colonies. And now, look what's happening now. You feel me? They done became a nation of people. And now they trying to kick out the people who was born here, who ancestors been here way before they even got here off the Mayflower. So you can drop that. If you can go to in the not the Apocrypha. Go to in the Old Testament, Obadiah 1:1.
So Obadiah 1:1.
Yeah, kind of.
So like my phone froze. Give me 1 second.
Hey, the brother funny. So he talking about King James got them criminals up out of England. Real talk. He got them criminals up out of England. You feel me? Now Trump, and now he trying to do it. He trying to label our brothers and sisters as criminals to get them out of America. When I mean, like I said, it's all stolen property. Everybody here is here illegal, unless you a Native Indian or a Mexican. You here illegal. Either you were stolen or you forced your way in here.
Oh.
Real talk.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord God concerning Edom.
Right, concerning Edom, which is talking about the so-called white man and his whole race. You feel me? It's a vision Obadiah got about the so-called white man. Real talk. Who is Edom?
We've heard a rumor from the Lord, and as ambassadors we sent among the heathens.
Right.
Arise ye.
Right. We heard a rumor from the Lord. You feel me? We heard a rumor from the Most High that an ambassador is sent among the heathen. You feel me? What's an ambassador? An ambassador is like a representative. You feel me? That's a representative. That's like somebody that goes and does work. You feel me? For the whole nation. You feel me? Like every country got an ambassador. You feel me? Where they go, they send them here, send them there. I think at one point in time, Hillary Clinton was like the ambassador to America. I forget the actual title, but that's basically all it is when Barack Obama was running, when he was in office. You feel me? You feel me? Everybody, every kingdom, every country has an ambassador that goes and deal with other nations and handle business and stuff like that. And this is what Obadiah is seeing. He's seeing an ambassador is sent among the heathen. You feel me?
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Right. And her is talking about Edom. You feel me? The her is talking about Edom. The heathens is all conspiring against Edom right now. You feel me? That's why Trump is talking about make America great again. You know, get rid of the immigrants. We got to get rid of the immigrants. This is happening. The Chinese are ninjas. They spies. The Mexicans is drug dealers. And we got the Colombians and all that. But the white immigrants is good to go. The ones from Ukraine and Russia and, you feel me? All them European countries, they here and they good. You feel me? Like real talk. Because he's trying to get rid of the immigrants. Because like the Bible say, the ambassador was sent amongst the heathen. You feel me? Saying, let's arise up against her in battle. You feel me? And they trying not to get overtook. Real talk.
Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
Right, and that's one thing what the so-called white man don't understand. You feel me? Because he got nukes. He got all his money. He got the allies, different countries that's not white is riding with him right now at the moment. You feel me? But what he don't understand, if he just all white people had to stick together, they will see that they small amongst the other nations. It's more people in India than it is in America. You feel me? And when you just talk about white America, I'm not talking about all the nations is there, just white America. There's more people in India. They got like 1 billion, 3 billion some people over there. China got billions of people. See what he said about China? He think they spies and all type of stuff, coming to do whatever from Beijing. Look at Africa. Africa got billions. There's billions of Africans there. Once they realize that they all together and they not, Nigerian and Ghana and, and stuff like that. Once they all realize that they all Hamites.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the real 18 nations that was established, when you look at white people, they small amongst all the heathen nations. When all the heathen nations come together under their actual identity, which what the Bible say. Like Ammon. Ammon is the Japanese and other Asian little countries and stuff that's on the south of China and stuff like that. Like real talk. Once all of them come under their biblical names, the so-called white man is small amongst all the heathens. Like real talk.
Thou art greatly despised.
Right, and that's a fact. The so-called white man is greatly despised, but it don't seem that way at the moment. It don't, because they all need to use him for different type of things. So it's looking like they all cool with him. You think the Koreans, the South Korea, they allies with America for now. You feel me? Taiwan, they allies with America. They cool with America for now. You feel me? You got certain African countries, they cool with America for now. You feel me? Like real talk. But behind closed doors, they are greatly despised. They do not, nobody like them. You feel me? Do not nobody like the so-called white man. Like real talk. It's not none of these countries. None of them like the so-called white man. They just got business deals with them. And once them business deals flop, you feel me? You're going to see whose side they really on.
Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Right, and that's a fact. The so-called white man is very prideful. You feel me? And the pride of his heart have deceived thee. You feel me? Being satisfied with his own achievements. He's seen what he done in Hiroshima, Nagasaki with the nuclear bomb. You feel me? He's seen what happened with World War II, how everybody banded together against the Germans, the big bad evil Germans. You feel me? The pride of his heart have deceived him. You feel me? Putting black people in slavery and conquering them for 400 some years, putting the Native Indians on reservations and cutting off their heads and putting on posts. You feel me? All that stuff the so-called white man done is deceiving him. And he don't even know it. He don't even know that all that evil stuff that he's done, that he's proud about, he's deceived.
that it dwelleth in the clefts of the rock.
Right, in the clefts of the rock. Why is it saying he dwelleth in the clefts of the rock? Because the so-called white man, he didn't get a blessing. You feel me? Well, I wouldn't say he didn't get a blessing because he was blessed with the sword. He's the only nation out of them 18 nations that never got, he didn't get an inheritance. You feel me? Every even the nations that's not where they can build and prosper. Everybody can prosper except the so-called white man. He's the only one that didn't get one. That's why he takes everybody else's land, call himself that. You feel me? He's not the original European. He's not the original South African. Elon Musk is a South African. That's his nationality. Dude that owned Tesla, his nationality is South African. Like real talk. That's because that's what they do. Because they don't have no land. And that's why they had to dwell in the clefts of the rock. We was talking about the mountains. They are mountain people, caveman. That's why they call themselves Caucasian. From the Caucasus Mountain of Georgia, Russia. Real talk. That's the only place they could live because all the other land was inhabited by somebody that owned it by birthright. And they didn't have the power.
Whose habitation is high. That setteth in his heart. Who shall bring me?
Right now, that's a fact. Who's out is high. You feel me? He used to living high up in the mountains and stuff like that. That's why he building all these skyscrapers. You feel me? Most buildings is not supposed to go over 3 stories. He's building them 30, 40, 50 stories, 100 stories in the sky. You feel me? He's building them above the clouds, like real talk. Because that's used to living in the mountains.
Who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right, and that's what he's saying. Every day, the so-called white man, when he wake up and go to sleep, he thinks America is untouchable. He thinks America is untouchable, like real talk.
Verse 4. Do thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Right, and that's the symbol of Rome. That was, this is Obadiah was before Rome. Before Rome was a kingdom. That's what he said about the so-called white man. He exalted himself as the eagle. That's the bird, the national bird of America is the eagle. And that's what it's saying. It's saying he exalted himself like an eagle, like he's untouchable. He flying high in the sky and nobody could touch him.
And those that shall set their nest among the stars.
Right, and that's what he did. He set his nest among the stars, and the stars, that's talking about Israel. You hear me? He makes sure he oppress us. He makes sure he gotta oppress us because he know we the chosen people of God. So he has to oppress us. They gotta come get us. He gotta treat the Mexicans the way they doing. Gotta treat black people and Native Indians the way they doing because they set they nest among the stars, which is talking about Israel. And not only that, even the real stars in the sky with the satellites and stuff. Like real talk.
Thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord.
Right, yeah, but with all that being said, the Lord is going to destroy the so-called white man for what he did to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. For everything that happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Lord is going to destroy him for it, even though he thinks it's never going to happen. Like real talk. All right, yeah, so you could drop that and go to Exodus 21 and 16.
Exodus 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
Now, this is what the Bible says. The Bible, this is the same Bible Trump sweared in on. Trump sweared in on this Bible when he got inaugurated. Just like every other president that won had to swear in on the Bible. When you go to court, you got to swear in on the Bible. But in the Bible, it say, if he stealeth a man and selleth him, and he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they being stole right now. ICE is going out to steal black people and Hispanic people right now. It's Hispanic people being stolen by the ICE agents, put in cages. You hear me? And took back to Mexico, thrown across the border. You hear me? Real talk. And this is slavery. You hear me? This is something that happened only to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We've been stolen and sold, and we found in his hand. Like right now, we right here, we live in proof. You hear me? That's why you got the FBA niggas, they stupid ass thinking they finna get reparations. You hear me? They finna get reparations from slavery. It's not happening. I'm just keeping it real. It's never gonna happen. But that's proof though. You hear me? That we found in his hand. We sitting right here. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian child is living proof that the so-called white man only deserves death. He only deserves. This is what the Bible say. The Bible say if he found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. If you steal a man and sell him, that is talking about slavery. The Bible say you should be put to death. But nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. They free. They free. You know why they free? Because the pride of their heart deceived them. That's why. That's why they free. They thinking everything good. They thinking what they did to Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, nothing is going to happen to them for it. You hear me? But the Lord say he going to bring them down. And the pride of their heart is deceived them. Real talk. I said you could drop that. Go to Psalms 55 and 20.
The book of Psalms 55 and verse 20. He has put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him.
Right, that's a fact. And that's what he done. You hear me? That's why I say, who the real illegal immigrant? Who is it for real? Because this is exactly what the so-called white man done. He put forth his hand. You feel me? Which means like he hurt. He hurt somebody. He physically abused somebody that was at peace with him. You hear me? The Native Indians that was at peace with the so-called white man. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. He could care less. Why? Because we the chosen people of God. But if you Chinese or African, you good to go. You Chinese or African, they looking past you. You ain't getting pulled over and beat up. Why? Explain to me that. Why is it not any Chinese? If y'all at what it say, geopolitical war or rival? If Chinese people is a geopolitical rival of America, why don't no Chinese people get pulled over by the police and beaten in the head? Or shot on accident with their gun? You seen that video?
I don't concert. I sure did.
Why don't Chinese people, they own guns, don't they? Or maybe not because they're illegal immigrants. But that's a whole other topic. I'm
sure they got them.
I'm pretty sure they got guns on them in their car. Why don't no Chinese people get pulled over and shot on accident? No Africans. You don't never see no African dude. You feel me? You don't never see no African dude getting pulled over and getting shot by the police. It's always Black and Hispanic. Like real talk. That's because he put forth his hands at them that said peace with him. We've been trying to be at peace with him, and he ain't did nothing but turn it up, even his hatred.
He has broken his covenant.
And that's what happened. Them treaties that he signed with the Native Indians, he broke them. Them laws he said about Black people and this and that, he broke them. them amendments and all that stuff, broke him. That's what he do. People mad and shocked that Trump, what was it, the 14th Amendment that he basically got rid of? I don't even know why you mad. This is his nature. This is what he do. He break covenant. This is what he do.
Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Right. He real slick talking about how everything gonna be all right. You hear me? Everything's gonna be all right. You ain't never seen how white people talk. You hear me? They talk like just everything gonna be all right. The whole time they got some up their sleeve. Like real talk.
But war was in his heart.
Right. So yeah, they gonna talk to you real sweet, and they gonna game you up. You hear me? They gonna game you up where you thinking they on your side, that y'all in this together. The whole time war was in his heart. He was ready to backstab you. That's what he do. He backstab. He renege on trees and covenants. That's just what he do. Like real talk, that's what he do.
His words were softer than oil. Yet were they drawn swords.
Right. Yet were they drawn swords. That's what I'm saying. He known for backdoing. This is what he do. You hear me? The so-called white man known for backdoing. He gonna talk, everything gonna be real smooth and elegant. He gonna use all these big fancy words. When the whole time he ready to stab you in the back. Like real talk. That's what's about to happen. You better get stabbed in the back. You cannot trust them, man. For nothing, for no reason. They will renege on whatever they said.
Verse 22. That's a burden. Salaki.
Now you can drop that, Salaki. Go to Second Chronicles 7 and 12 in the Old Testament.
Yeah. Salaki, what was it? 7 and 12?
Yeah, Kyle, you can start at verse 12.
7 and 12. All right. The book of Second Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 12. And the Lord appeared to Solomon that night and said unto him, having heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice.
Right, yeah. So Solomon building the temple, you feel me? And the Lord was pleased with it, like real talk. Because David couldn't build it because David's hands had too much blood on it from killing Israelites. Because Israelites did not want to obey, did not want to listen to the Lord, even after all the things that he done. Real talk.
Verse 13. If I shut up heaven, that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people.
Right, pestilence. That's talking about like, you feel me, like an epidemic, stuff like that. So the Lord saying, you feel me, he can do all these things. He can send plagues, epidemics. He can make it rain. He can stop the rain. He can send the locusts to devour the land, or he can stop it. It's all up to us, basically. You feel me? Everything that happened to blacks and Hispanics is up to us. You feel me? Like real talk. And what we got to do to stop all the rain and stop the locusts, which mean the lack of food. How do we stop the epidemics? We got to serve the Lord. Because that's one thing we never done. We had our moments, but we never done it like we were supposed to. And that's the whole point of that. That was the whole point of that was Christ's whole mission, to get us to finally keep the law. But you got Christians out here saying the law is done away with. Like, goddamn.
Verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face.
Right, and that's one thing we ain't never done. You feel me? We ain't never humbled ourselves. Everybody always think, man, I ain't listening to no man. I ain't listening to you. But you a man.
Right.
You feel me? Is you not a man? So you I'm just saying. Like what? Like how far did this go? This can go far. Like real talk. But that's one thing we never done. We never tried to humble ourselves. You feel me? To say to ourselves, like, maybe I don't have the answer. You feel me? Real talk. Maybe the Lord is the way.
And turn from their wicked ways.
Right. Because that's what the Lord wants us to do. That's why all this stuff happening. All this stuff happening to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, because we won't turn from our wicked ways. You feel me? That's why ICE is all this ICE agents. You feel me? Black people worried about if they getting sent back to Africa. You don't even know what part of Africa you came from. You feel me? All this is because the Lord is trying to get us to come back. That's the whole point. You feel me? The same way the Lord used Pharaoh, now he's using Trump. He's using Trump the same way he used Pharaoh to get us to return to him and turn from our wicked ways. Because now you see the blunts, that ain't going to save you. The weed, that ain't going to save you. The money, your high value status ain't going to save you. So what else could you do? What else could you do but turn to the Lord?
Right.
But now you got these brothers out there. You hear me? You got all these brothers out there. Guess what they doing? Teaching the truth. So you can't go to church. Can't go to the Muslim mosque. Nah, you got to come right here where we at and humble yourself. Like real out.
Then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal.
Right. And but look, that's so heavy. The Lord said He gonna forgive their sin. It was never the intentions purpose was never to just kill Israelites. Us dying and going to jail, that was never the point. That was never what the Lord wanted. That's just what He had to do because that's the law. He wouldn't listen. So the law say, kill them for this, kill them for that, stone them for this, stone them for that. But that wasn't the point. The point was to get everybody to say, look, I ain't doing that. You heard what happened to little Joe now? Man, them niggas, them Israelite niggas knocked on their door, man. Can't put them out the crib. We ain't seen them since. You feel me? What happened on the wire? We think he in one of them vacant houses.
Yeah.
Snoop was vacant houses. Like, hell no. But no, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be like, man, I ain't doing that, man. Like real talk. That was the whole point. The whole time the Lord, He really just wanted to forgive us of our sin. He just wanted us to turn and serve Him. Like real talk.
It will heal their land.
Heal their land. See that's what I'm saying. We ain't got no land. See, Israel is the people. You feel me? That land over there, that's not Israel. Israel is where the people is at. You feel me? And the majority of Israel is in America. You feel me? We in America trying to get back to our homeland. You feel me? We trying to get back there. Because at one point in time, it was filled with filthy Africans. At one point in time, Israel was filled with filthy Africans called Canaanites, who today you would know as like the South Americans. I mean, not South Africans, Salakia. I worded that wrong. The South Africans. You feel me? The South Africans today is what you'll know as the Canaanites. You feel me? Real talk. But they filled Israel, which is our homeland, and we was on a journey coming from Egypt and, trying to get back there and stuff like that. Like real talk. And that's what's happening right now. Right now, there's a bunch of white people over there calling themselves Jewish, Arabs over there who really white people who really descend from Alexander the Greek and his people, them that, raided them Arab countries and stuff like that. They all over there claiming that to be their land because they've been living there, but it's really our land. It's our land. Our land is not healed. And this is what the Lord is telling Solomon. Our land is not healed. You feel me? And it's not healed. The reason why them Edomites is able to live over there right now is because we ain't turned from our wicked ways. We ain't humbled ourselves. We ain't prayed and seek the face of the Lord. Then we still trying to be other stuff instead of what we was born to be, which was Israelites. So our land is not healed. That's why we all living on stolen property. We all illegal immigrants because none of us belong here. None of us belong here. The so-called white man belong in the caves. You hear me? We belong in Israel. The Africans belong in Africa. The Chinese belong in China. Don't nobody belong here. You feel me? We all is illegal immigrants on this land. Like real talk. Yeah, you
Verse 15.
You could drop that. You can drop that. And go to Jeremiah 48.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 48, verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the works of the Lord deceitfully.
Right. And that's one of the biggest things in the black community. We got a lot of traitors, you know. We got a lot of Uncle Toms like Martin Luther King, people like that, because they offered up money. They offered up money to be wicked. You feel me? To push an agenda. And the Bible say, cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. All these pastors, they do the work of the Lord deceitfully because they not telling the truth. Like real talk.
And cursed be he that keepeth back the sword from blood.
Right. And it say, cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. Like real talk. You know why I say that? Because it's a time for peace and it's a time for war. And at certain times, you got to know when it's time to go to war. But because you're doing the work deceitfully, all you worried about is peace, 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 love, 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 hugs and kisses. You feel me? It's a time to when you got to pull out your sword. You got to bring it back dripping wet. You feel me? That sword got to be dripping with blood. Like real talk.
Verse 11. Moab has been at ease from his youth.
Right. And this is one of my favorite scriptures about the Chinese people. Because it just show more proof that not only is the Bible for real and prophetic, that the Chinese people, they don't have to pay for what they did to black people too. You feel me? They not getting out free. Because the Bible say Moab, he's been at ease since his youth. You feel me? Since his youth. Like Moab, he's been at peace. You feel me? He been at peace. He ain't been in slavery. The Chinese ain't been in slavery.
And he had set on his leaves.
Yeah.
And have not been emptied from vessel to vessel.
Right. And that's talking about the vessel is just something like, think about a vessel like something you hold some in. So what they've been holding up in, they haven't not been empty. You feel me? What, like 4 billion people in China? I think it's like 1 billion in Beijing, where Trump say the spies and the ninjas coming from. You feel me? They have not been empty from vessel to vessel. You feel me? Like what happened to black people, all these lynchings and all these murders they doing to us and stuff like police shootings, all this stuff that's happening. You feel me? That's not happened to them. That's why I say they've been at ease. Like they ain't really been through nothing for real.
Right. Neither had he gone into captivity.
Right. Neither have he gone in captivity. But the Chinese people ain't never been into slavery. You feel me? They over here, the most illegal immigrant, they bringing in the fentanyl, they bringing in the prostitutes to go to the massage parlor. You feel me? All that's happening, and they ain't never been into captivity. We went into slavery. We did absolutely nothing wrong to these people. We ain't did the Native Indians did nothing wrong to these people. They fed them, showed them how to live off the land, and they went into captivity. But these Chinese, they have not went into captivity. They've been at ease. You feel me? Since they've been a nation, and they're a nation of incest. You feel me?
Oh God.
Mongoloid. If you look up Mongoloid, that come from incest, and that's what they call themselves. They know, you feel me, that they look the way they look is come from Down syndrome from incest. Like real talk.
Therefore, his taste remained in him.
Right. He thinking it right. He thinking it's sweet. Like real talk. It's like he thinking it's sweet, thinking everything all good.
And his scent is not changed.
Right. He's saying he ain't smelling death and destruction. He at ease. You know, we say it as black people. We go outside like, man, it don't smell right. You feel me? It's like death in the air.
Right.
That's not how he feel. He don't feel that way. His is not changed. He thinking everything's sweet. Like real talk.
It's like this verse is heavy for real. Like I don't know, it's heavy.
No, real talk. You ain't telling no lies. Like real talk. That's what I said. Like this is one of my heaviest. This is one of the heaviest verses I ever read about Moab. Like real talk. I say Jeremiah was on one. Like real talk.
Verse 12. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send upon him wanderers that shall cause him a wonder, and shall empty his vessel and break their bottles.
Right, and that's what's happening right now. You feel me? Like they being exposed, just like every other nation is being exposed. Like real talk, to where they not gonna know what they doing, what they supposed to be, or none of that. You feel me? Like real talk. All these people going into slavery. All these nations is going into slavery. All these heathens is going into slavery, and they all gonna be wandering. You feel me? They all gonna be empty vessel to vessel, because they ain't gonna have nowhere to go. Like real talk. Once this war start, World War III start, all of them is gonna be wandering. Like real talk.
Verse 13. And Moab shall be ashamed of Chesmont. Is that how you say that?
Come on, that's his God. You feel me? That's one of the stars of Moab, and he gonna be ashamed of it. Like real talk. Just like when the COVID-19 happened, and they was ashamed, and they was throwing their gods in the river. You feel me? All them gods and statues they worship, they was throwing them in the river because it wasn't saving them. Like real talk, and that's what's gonna happen. Moab is gonna be ashamed. Right now, he proud. Right now, Moab, the East Indians, all these heathen nations, they proud. But in a minute, they're gonna be ashamed, and they're gonna be ashamed of all them gods they worship. Real talk.
As the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, their confidence.
Right. So the same way the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, which just means house of God, a place in Israel. Feel me? Which means house of God. The same way we was ashamed of that, that's how they gonna be ashamed. Like right now, you got black people, they don't like calling themselves Israelite. Feel me? They don't claim to be Israelite. They claim to be a Christian or a Muslim. Or I'm just an American or a foundational black American. They everything but an Israelite because they ashamed. How the Chinese gonna be and all these other nations, they're gonna be ashamed You feel me? Real talk. Because when they found out they all partake in what happened to us, they all had a hand in our destruction. Every Chinese restaurant that opened up in the hood, they got a hand in our destruction. All these heathen businesses is opening up. They smiling, taking all your money. They all playing a part in your destruction. Like real talk. Yeah, so yeah, you could drop that and go to Proverbs 29:2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Right. When the righteous is in authority, the people is happy. That's a fact, because they being righteous to the people. They not being a dictator or trying to take every dollar out of their damn pocket, raising up all the taxes, all the food, and all the stuff like that, because they not righteous. Real talk.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right, and that's what's happening right now. Feel me? Right now, the wicked, they bear rule. See, every president that was ever president is wicked. Don't ever think that because they a Democrat or because they smile or they trying to get the black vote that they not wicked. They all wicked. But Trump is just showing you. He's showing you the face of America. He's the face of America. Right. This is how they always been. This is what they all believe. This is the agenda that they all stand by. You feel me? And that's why you mourning. When Barack Obama was president, you was mourning. You feel me? But he smiled and he played basketball, so you thought you was good. You feel me? He said he listened to rap music. He went and married a black woman from Chicago, so you thinking you good. When the whole time you was mourning then. It was more black people killed under Obama. But the face of America was an African dude, smiling all the time. So you didn't understand that you was mourning. Now Trump is in office, and you see, yeah, we mourning. We in trouble.
Verse 3. Whoso loved wisdom rejoice his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots sins his suffering.
Right, and that's what happened. You feel me? He that keepeth company with harlots, you spending your money. You feel me? You keep it, and that's what all these politicians is. All these politicians is nothing but whores. You feel me? They whoring themselves out for whatever the agenda is. You feel me? You spending all your money and all your time and all your energy. You feel me? Thinking that they better do right when the whole time they not. You feel me? They not finna do right. None of these politicians is gonna do right. You feel me? They whoring themselves out your money and for your vote.
Verse 4. The king by judgment established the land, but he that received the gifts overthrown it.
Right, but he that received gifts overthrew it. You feel me? The king by judgment, he established the land. You feel me? He established how everything's supposed to go. But once you start putting money involved, people change. People change what their original agenda was. Once you start throwing money involved. You got Snoop Dogg, what he said? He said F-bomb. Then they threw some money at him.
Yeah.
Because gifts overthrow it. The king by judgment established the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthrow it. You feel me? Everybody can be paid off. You feel me? Because they ain't got no integrity. All these people that you worshiping, all these celebrities, the politicians, all these people that's in power, they can be paid off. They all could be paid off. Even though the king by judgment established the land, they all could be paid off. I thought the amendments, you couldn't change the amendments. The Constitution. Throw a little money in there, they changing that.
Okay.
throw a little money in there. Them constitution, all that stuff, them amendments that they said you cannot change, being changed.
Right.
So they said you got freedom of speech. Too much hate speech going on. Too much hate speech. You got the LGBT community. You got black people. You got women rights. We need to stop all this hate speech. White people is the devil. Got to stop all this hate speech. But I thought we had freedom of speech. Nah, just throw a little money in there, and that's getting overthrown.
Right.
Throw a little money in there. That's somebody trying to spend some money. Oh well, yeah. Forget the this amendment. Forget that amendment. What they say, you black people free. You feel me? Unless you commit a crime. Then they realize prison was big business. Yeah, let's throw a little money in there.
Right.
Let's throw that amendment. Let's get that up out of there. Like real talk. All right, so you could drop that and go into Apocrypha, go to First Maccabees 3 and 8.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 8.
Salak, 3 and 48. Salak.
48?
Yeah, Khan, that's on me, Salak.
First Maccabees 3 and 48. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
Right. Laid open the book of the law. Now that's talking about our scriptures. You feel me? It's talking about the Old Testament. They laid open the book of the law.
Wherein the heathens have sought to paint the likeness of their image.
Right.
Images.
And now why would the heathens do that? Why would the heathens open up our law and paint themselves to look like the images of the prominent people? Because they ain't got no culture. That's why they whitewash everything. They don't have no land. They lived in the mountains. They from the caves. So you're damn right. They're going to open up the Bible in the Old Testament and paint King David as white.
Right.
They're going to paint Moses, some old white man with a long beard. You feel me? They're going to paint Abraham, some old, poor, broken down man, white man, when the whole time Abraham was rich. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They paint these people as people that they know. The same way they did with Yahushua, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. They painted him as Caesar Borgia. That was a man's son. The man that paid for that painting, that was his son's picture.
Right.
That ain't even the depiction that the Bible say how Christ looked. And they do that because they don't have no culture. They took over Europe from the Japhetic people because they didn't have no land. They taking over African countries because they ain't got no land. That's why they doing it. Like real talk, they came in America and was supposed to start 13 colonies. They took everything for themselves and said, F the British. Like real talk, this is what they do, man. Because they the real illegal immigrant. The so-called white man is the biggest illegal immigrant on this planet. Like real talk. Didn't he say he's the last samurai? Got Tom Cruise playing the last samurai. You hear me? It's a movie called Exodus, Gods in Egypt about Moses and freeing the children of Israel. Everybody white. The Egyptians, the Israelites, everybody white. This is what he do. Like real talk. All right, so you could draw that. And let's go to Revelations 12 and 7.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Right. And a lot of Christians because they don't know the Bible. They think this is talking about in heaven with God. This is talking about in the sky. Because most wars is fought in the sky nowadays. Because this was, of course, a vision of the future. And of course, most wars, because of planes and nukes and stuff like that, most wars is fought in the sky. So Michael and the angels is fighting against the dragon. That is talking about the military power of the so-called white man. A dragon, because what does a dragon do? Fly in the sky and breathe fire. What does the American Air Force do? Fly in the sky and breathe fire, drop bombs and bullets, and you see the fire coming out of all the damn artillery. Like real talk. And so that's what it looked like to him. He's like, man, it's like they fighting a dragon.
And the dragons fought in his angels.
Dragon fought and his angels. Angels is messengers. That's what that means, messengers. And the dragon's messengers was the heathen nations. It was other nations because, well, what was his name? Ronald Reagan, who was a goddamn actor. They voted him for president. Actor. He ran for president and won. And guess what one of his famous speeches was? What if something come out the sky and we got to fight against it? Will we all put our differences aside? That's what he said on national TV. Because that's really what they're gonna do. When Christ send them angels out the sky, that's what's gonna happen. They all gonna be fighting each other in turn and like, nah, we gotta band together. That's why they make all these movies, these alien movies, abduction movies. Oh man, look, Steven Spielberg say he got what's the name straight out the Bible? What's that movie with Will Smith? Independence Day.
Independence Day, yeah.
He said he took that movie straight out the Bible. He said that whole movie came from Revelations about the angels coming out the sky. Real talk. Right. Here you go. We're going all the way to verse 11.
Verse 8. And prevail not, neither was their place to like it.
Nah, prevail not, because they're going to lose. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to happen like an Independence Day. Will Smith and dude ran the plane through the mothership. It's not going to happen like that. They lose that war. And it's so funny because America is known for winning all the wars they ever been in.
Right.
So a lot of people going to think this is just another war that they about to win.
Neither was their place found anymore in heaven.
Right. Neither, and that's what I'm saying. That's going to be the end of their rulership. Because right now the so-called white man is in heaven. He's ruling and he think everything is a goddamn game. You know why? Because the pride of his heart has deceived him. The pride of his heart have deceived him so bad that he don't never think he's gonna lose a war. Like real talk.
Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil.
Right, hold on, wait. Let's stop there. Sure. That great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. Why is it called that old serpent? Because the so-called white man has the same spirit of that serpent from the garden. That's why we try to tell people that serpent from the Garden of Eden was a race of people that was slick and conniving and had a way with words to confuse you or convince you that they was right. But over time, that wasn't a serpent no more, grew into a dragon because of the lies that it was telling. The lies that the so-called white man, that's how the white man even got to where he at. Off lies. You feel me? It's not off really killing. It's off the lies he telling. Like real talk.
Called the devil.
Right.
Called the devil.
Because that's who he is. You feel me? The so-called white man is the serpent in the garden. He is the dragon because it's military power. And he's the devil because he's the deceiver. That's all that means.
Which deceived the whole world.
Right. Which deceived the whole world. That's what he done. And that's how he was able to get to where he at. By deceiving the whole world. What the Jewish man say? I mean, no, they went and fought against Hitler, World War II, because they said the Jewish man was being oppressed. When the whole time, the Jewish man was oppressing Hitler now. But Hitler wasn't going for it. Hitler was not going for it. So he basically put the Jewish people that was living there on concentration camps. And it was exterminating them because they was oppressing the Germans and they was not going for it. The same way the Jewish man is oppressing everybody because he deceived the whole world, got everybody thinking he the chosen people of God. He's telling everybody on the planet that he's the real Israelites, deceiving the whole world.
He was cast out unto the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Right. So him and everybody that rode with him is going to be cast down to a low state. Because right now they high and mighty. Everybody that's rolling with America is high and mighty. They getting money. They got oil. They got skyscrapers. They got all type of stuff going on. Air Force, military. But nah, not after this. They all going to be cast down to a low state.
Verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength.
Right. So now after this happened, now that's when salvation and strength come. You feel me? Now that's when it's time for blacks and the Spanish Native Indians to not go back into that land that's not been healed. You feel me? Because we've been wicked.
In the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ.
Right, of his Messiah. You feel me? Real talk. The kingdom of our God. The kingdom of our God, which is what he wanted. You feel me? To happen with the 12 tribes of Israel. Now it's coming for real. Because this ain't it. I don't know if people think America, the kingdom of heaven. This ain't it. This ain't the kingdom of heaven that the Bible is speaking about. So if this is not the kingdom of heaven, then what is? Something is coming. So this place got to be destroyed for that to happen.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Right, and that's why we tell people that no matter what the so-called white man say, you cannot be a criminal. Because every time you become a criminal, he's going to send his police to lock you up. Or he's going to send you to some rehab center or something. And all that's doing is him trying to accuse you before God day and night. That you don't deserve that blessing. That he deserved the blessing. You didn't really deserve it because you just a junkie. You a criminal. You a baby mama. You a baby daddy. Like real talk. Day and night. Every time we commit crimes in America or do stuff that's unlawful to the Most High, we've been accused by the so-called white man day and night. You feel me? Real talk.
Verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Right, and right, because Christ's death started what we see right now with us in the ISUPK. Which is the truth being born. You feel me? And that's how we're going to overcome, because of the truth.
And by the word of their testimony.
Right. And by the word of their testimony. Right. The evidence. You feel me? That Christ did die for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That Christ did die so we can come back to the Most High. You feel me? Christ did die so we could turn away from our wickedness and the Lord can get on our side. That's how all this is going to happen. Real talk. All this is going to happen by not sinning. By quit transgressing the law. You feel me? That's how all of this stuff, these miracles we talking about angels coming out the sky to kill and destroy America. All that's going to happen by keeping the commandments. Not from some drone we invented where we sent a message up to heaven. None of that. It's all going to happen by us keeping the commandments and the Lord seeing that it's time. It's time for the white man to fall and for black people to rise. That's how all that's going to happen.
And they loved not their lives unto the death.
Right. And love not they life, which means we weren't trying to save our life. You feel me? We weren't trying to prosper in America. We cared nothing about that. Everything we was doing was based off the truth. You feel me? Everything we did was based off the truth, trying to teach the truth, trying to push the truth instead of living some hot girl summer. You feel me? Or having sex with hoes and strippers and white girls, or you feel me? All that stuff. Being drug addicts. That's not what the brothers and sisters in here doing. We love not our lives. Otherwise, we would have just kept it. Whatever we've been doing, we would have been doing it. We never would have stopped doing it. Why did we stop living the lives we was living? Because we did not love it no more. You feel me? We did not love this type of lives no more. You feel me? We didn't care about none of that stuff no more. Like real talk. None of that stuff mean nothing to us. It's all about pushing this truth. Because we understand that this is not our rest. This is not the kingdom of heaven. This is America. This is the land of our captivity. Real talk. All right, so you could drop that. Last scriptures. Let's go to Exodus 17 and 14.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse, like you say, 14?
Come.
And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
Right. He said rehearse in the ears of Joshua, so Joshua could remember this. Like real talk.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got to understand. See, that's what I'm saying. You got to know who the players is in the game. Amalek is Edomites. But what you got to understand, it's a specific group of Edomites, the Jewish people. The Jewish people, those are Amalek. And the Lord say that he want to block them out the history books. You feel me? The people that's living in our land, under our identity, the Lord say he wants to put out the remembrance of them. He don't want them to ever be a tribe anymore. Like real talk, because they did something heinous when we was coming out of Egypt. You feel me? If you read like a little more of this story, you can do it on your own time. That's what was going on before this was said. We was coming out of Egypt and they was trying to kill us at our lowest point. They killed children and old, elderly, and women that was at the back when we was coming out of Egypt. He was a wicked, evil people, man. Like real talk. You should never be surprised. Nothing you hear about Jewish people. What 50 Cent say? Whatever they said they did, they did. Like real talk. Just believe it. If you hear somebody say something bad about Jewish people, just believe it. Because these are some wicked people, like real talk.
Verse 15. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nessi. Is that how you say that?
Right. So the Moses built this altar, you feel me, in remembrance of this war they fought with Amalek, killing these Amalekites, because they had a war, you feel me, a battle that they had fought. And they killed them and they built an altar in remembrance of it. Like real talk. But the Lord say he wanted him to remember Amalek. He wanted Joshua to remember it, that these people got to go. They got to go. This is a tribe of Edomites, which is now known as the Jewish people.
Verse 16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Right. So when you see Jewish people going to war, that's why. You wonder why every time a war starts, it's always Jewish people somehow involved. Every war that starts is always Jewish people have some type of involvement in it. This is why. Because the Lord say he sworn that he gonna have war with Amalek from generation to generation. They never not gonna be at war. They never gonna be at peace. Like real talk. And right now, they illegal immigrants on our land. Like real talk. And they going to war, they gonna keep going to war because the Lord ain't having it. And he ain't dealing with them. But that's in this nice class. Tune in every Monday, Tuesday. Tune in Wednesday night for the podcast. You feel me? Y'all about Shimmy Out Sky Thumb. Y'all with my thumb by Shimmy Out.